for Elliot Anderson. For sure, Manchester City already started talking with the agents of the player, but Manchester United remain in conversations. For Elliot Anderson, Manchester United are not giving up. They know that Manchester City started their plan to sign the player already a long time ago, but until the deal is done, Man United want to be there, Man United want to try, and Man United believe that having the opportunity eventually to offer Champions League football to the player, well, that could be important in order to try get closer to Manchester City in this race. But then what can make the difference is the negotiation with Nottingham Forest, is who's going to pay what Nottingham Forest want. So Elliot Anderson for sure is a big name to follow.
Hey United fans, welcome back to United Focus, your home for all the latest updates and passionate breakdowns of everything happening with Manchester United. Today is one of those days where everything matters because we've got huge stories unfolding that could shape the future of this club in a massive way. We are breaking down that big win over Chelsea and what it means for the Champions League race. We are diving into Bruno Fernandes and his push towards Premier League history. We are looking at the transfer battle for Elliot Anderson with Manchester City that could define the entire summer. And we are also going deep into the rebuild plans from Ineos with over £200 million expected to be invested into this squad. And on top of all that, we have to talk about Michael Carrick, because what he is doing right now at Old Trafford is special, it is powerful, and it is raising one huge question. Is he about to be given the job permanently after producing one of the most impressive managerial runs this club has seen in years? Let us start with the Elliot Anderson transfer battle is shaping up to be the defining pursuit of United's entire summer, and the developments of this week have added new layers of excitement and new layers of complexity to what promises to be one of the most financially significant and most consequentially important transfer negotiations in Old Trafford's recent history. Fabrizio Romano confirmed this week that United are in conversations for Anderson, and crucially that they believe a deal is possible, backing Team Talk's reporting that United had intensified their pursuit of the Nottingham Forest and England international midfielder. Romano was characteristically measured but unambiguous, acknowledging that Manchester City have already had proactive discussions with Anderson's representatives and are currently leading the race, but making equally clear that United have absolutely no intention of stepping aside until a deal is formally agreed and completed. The argument United are making centres on Champions League football. Romano specifically highlighted this factor, noting that United believe the opportunity to offer Champions League football could be important in closing the gap on City in this race, and that assessment is entirely correct. For a 23-year-old English midfielder at exactly the stage of his career, where European football represents both a sporting aspiration and a commercial opportunity. The difference between playing Champions League football at Old Trafford and not playing it at the Etihad could be decisive in how Anderson ultimately weighs his options when the moment of final decision arrives. Nottingham Forest's valuation of close to £100 million is the number that every interested club needs to be prepared to meet, and Forest's ambition to break their own transfer record set by the £55 million Elanga sale means there will be no discount offered, regardless of how the player's own preferences develop. Romano made the financial battle the central issue, saying clearly that what can make the difference is the negotiation with Forest, that whoever pays what Forest want is the club that gets Anderson. That is a message aimed directly at both Manchester clubs and their respective Ineos and Sheikh Mansour-backed ownership structures, and the response from Old Trafford to that challenge will define whether United are truly ready to compete at the very top of the summer transfer market. What Anderson would bring to this squad is exactly what every honest assessment of United's midfield needs has identified. 23 years old, 7 England caps. The energy, the dynamism, the box-to-box mobility, the ability to drive forward and cover ground and bring physical robustness to central areas that the squad has consistently lacked. Alongside Kobbie Mainoo in the double pivot that Carrick's system demands, Anderson would give United a midfield partnership with a combined age of 44 and a combined energy level that could sustain the intensity of Champions League football and Premier League title challenging for the next 5 to 7 years. Landing Anderson this summer is not just a transfer, it is the foundation of the next era. Moving on Saturday night, because what happened at Stamford Bridge deserves to be understood in its full and proper context before we get into anything else. 1 shot on target, 1 goal, 3 points, and 10 points clear of Chelsea in the Champions League race. That is the story of Manchester United's visit to Stamford Bridge, and in many ways, that single statistic of one shot on target being enough to win the match tells you absolutely everything you need to know about where Carrick's United are right now and where Chelsea are. United were sufficiently organised, sufficiently disciplined, and sufficiently convinced of their own identity and their own game plan to go to one of the most difficult away venues in the Premier League, defend with determination and intelligence against a home side that hit the crossbar twice, and nick the only goal of the game through Matheus Cunha's first-half strike to walk away with a 1-0 victory that has transformed the Champions League qualification race in the most decisive and most comprehensive way imaginable. This was a Manchester United side travelling without Harry Maguire, without Lisandro Martinez, without Patrick Dorg, without Matthijs de Ligt. A United side carrying defenders who are either teenagers or players operating outside their natural positions. A United side that had just suffered two painful and controversial defeats in their previous two matches, and that desperately needed a response, a result, a performance that proved the Carrick revival was not beginning to crumble under the pressure of the most demanding final weeks of the season. And they delivered every single element of what was required with the kind of quiet, professional, controlled efficiency that has become the hallmark of everything this manager builds. Matheus Cunha swept home in the 43rd minute from Bruno Fernandes' assist, and that goal proved to be all that was needed. Chelsea pushed. Chelsea pressed. Chelsea hit the crossbar twice in moments that could have changed everything. But United held. United organised. United defended with the collective discipline and the collective belief of a team that knows what it is fighting for and refuses to be broken by the moments that go against it. And when the final whistle sounded, the gap between United and Chelsea had grown to 10 points, a margin so significant that Chelsea's own hopes of qualifying for European football at any level are now in serious jeopardy, with 4 points separating them from Liverpool in 5th and 5 teams within a single win of overtaking them completely. For Carrick's United, the picture could not be more different. 58 points, 3rd place, 3 points ahead of Aston Villa in 4th, 6 points ahead of Liverpool in 5th, and a run of remaining fixtures that compares favourably to every team chasing them. Brentford at home, Liverpool at home, Sunderland away, Nottingham Forest at home, Brighton away. 5 games, a squad beginning to return to something approaching its best available configuration, and the momentum of a victory at Stamford Bridge that restores the confidence and the belief that the Leeds defeat had temporarily unsettled. Now let us talk about Bruno Fernandes, because this story deserves enormous attention and is not getting nearly enough of it. Thierry Henry's record of 20 assists in a single Premier League season has stood for over 2 decades. It has been approached by Kevin De Bruyne, Mohamed Salah, Cesc Fabregas and Mesut Ozil. None of them has beaten it. Nobody has managed 21. And Bruno Fernandes, with 5 Premier League games remaining, is within touching distance of becoming the first player in the history of this competition to reach that number. The assist for Cunha's Chelsea winner was another addition to a tally that is rewriting the record books. And if Fernandes can produce the same level of creative output in the final 5 matches of the season that he has delivered throughout this entire extraordinary campaign, he will finish with a Premier League assists record that stands alongside the great individual statistical achievements of the modern era. For a player who has been linked with departure throughout large parts of this season, who has been the subject of Saudi Arabian approaches and European speculation, and who has consistently been the most important creative force in a squad that has been transformed by Carrick's management, producing a record-breaking assist season is the most powerful statement he could make about his commitment to this club and his quality at the highest level. And now the biggest question of all, the one that has been hanging over everything since January, when Carrick first walked back through the Carrington doors and started winning football matches that nobody expected him to win. Is Michael Carrick getting the permanent job at Manchester United? And the answer, based on everything that has been reported this week from multiple credible sources, is yes, he is getting it. The appointment is expected to be confirmed before the end of the current season. The club has declined to pursue 2 elite Spanish coaches. The internal process, as Romano described it, is being conducted with full confidence in Michael Carrick. The hierarchy is very happy with the work done so far. They are not doubting Carrick. And the combination of Andoni Iraola being open to the role but advancing towards a new PSG contract, and the other elite alternatives either unavailable or not considered superior to the man already doing the job, has cleared the path for Carrick to be confirmed as the permanent manager who will lead this club into the Champions League era that his work this season has made possible. David Beckham said it best this week on TalkSport. Michael has the calmness, the knowledge of the club, the understanding of the players, and the elegance on the touchline that United needed after years of chaos and drama and personality clashes. The last few months have been a lot more comfortable than the last 10 years, Beckham said honestly. And that comfort, that sense of direction and stability and identity that has returned to Old Trafford since January is exactly what every Manchester United supporter has been desperate for since Ferguson left in 2013. 10 games, 7 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss, wins over Manchester City, Arsenal, Fulham, Tottenham, Everton, Crystal Palace, Aston Villa and Chelsea. A squad rebuilt from the wreckage Amorim left behind, a dressing room transformed, players performing at levels they had not reached in years, and a Champions League place that is now 10 points ahead of Chelsea and 3 ahead of Villa with 5 games remaining. Here is where we stand right now. 5 games to go. Brentford, Liverpool, Sunderland, Nottingham Forest, Brighton. United need to keep winning. The Anderson pursuit needs to be concluded decisively in United's favour. The Palmer situation needs to be explored with the full financial commitment it deserves. The Carrick appointment needs to be confirmed officially so that every summer decision can be made with complete clarity about who is in charge and what system is being built around. And the 100+ days of quiet, patient, intelligent, and ultimately brilliant management that Carrick has delivered since January need to be rewarded with the security and the resources that allow the next chapter of this story to be even more ambitious and even more extraordinary than the one we have all been privileged to watch unfold. Manchester United are going back to the Champions League. Michael Carrick is staying. Bruno Fernandes is chasing history. Elliot Anderson is being pursued with everything United have. And the summer that follows this season could be the most transformative in this club's modern history. The quiet revolution is not over. It is just getting started, and everything happening right now at Old Trafford is the foundation on which the loudest and most significant chapter of all is about to be built. Stay with us, because the best is still to come.